One Piece has been a manga since 1997 and it's still going strong. Additionally, the anime series, which started in 1999, has skipped 1,000 episodes and again is still going strong. Even if it did take longer to cross over to the Western countries than some of the other animes, One Piece is arguably untouchable when it comes to worldwide appeal, with only Dragon Ball exceeding it. And on that note, we thought that we would take a look at some of the best One Piece games to have ever been created and their ranking according to Metacritic. But of course, just before we do go into the video, if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10s, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. And with all that said, let's just get straight into it. These are the best One Piece games to have ever been released, according to Metacritic. Number 5. One Piece Unlimited Worlds Red. One of the more readily available One Piece games, Unlimited Worlds Red is on the doorstep of greatness, but it mostly settles for just being pretty good. Telling an original story that is not far removed from the quality of the One Piece movies, the campaign finds the Straw Hats helping out a unique town, while also engaging with a powerful pirate from yesteryear. The crew also has to go up against some of their strongest past foes, although they're not quite themselves. Unlimited World Red knocks its presentation out of the park, looking great on most systems. While very linear, the stages are generally impressive and varied, with their backgrounds being consistently good, and Transtown, the main hub, is quite open and allows for a fair bit of exploration. The combat feels like a bit of a beat-em-up type of game, albeit a little bit slower. Although far from terrible, the battle system does get repetitive rather quickly, especially since encounters with the fodder enemies tend to overstay their welcome. That said, the boss fights are consistently great and superior to the ones found in most of the Pirate Warrior games. Number 4. One Piece GBA. Simply called One Piece, this beat-em-up is a perfectly good option on the Nintendo handheld Game Boy Advance system. Dimps is a reliable developer, and this somewhat forgotten project represents the developer's talent for crafting solid licensed games that capture the charm of the source material while providing accessible gameplay. The issue with this game is that its combat will probably not keep fans engaged for too long due to its low difficulty and style over substance approach. However, the 2005 title is decent across the board, with a vibrant color palette and little animation touches, like Luffy holding his straw hat when he runs, which adds personality to the otherwise simple visuals, and the game nails its character designs and Luffy's special attacks. The campaign is also reasonably robust for a Game Boy Advance release. Number 3. One Piece Treasure Cruise. Most major shonen series have at least a single adaptation that fits the bill, and tend to be fine ways to waste a few minutes per day. That said, One Piece Treasure Cruise is arguably better than average, delivering a surprisingly fun turn-based combat system that can be reasonably challenging, and requires frequent interaction by players due to its input-based bonuses. The story mode runs through the manga's main arcs, and is updated fairly regularly, ensuring there's always new content on the horizon. Still, Treasure Cruise's appeal is its huge roster of characters, with pretty much every One Piece figure having different tiers and forms that can cover their changes throughout the story. Players will gradually build a 6-member crew featuring some of the most powerful names in the universe. However, the process is slow. Like most gacha games, Treasure Cruise starts fairly forgiving, but gradually slows down to a crawl, requiring players to pretty much grind in order to see any progress. Number 2. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. The latest installment in the series, Pirate Warriors 4 is basically a love letter to the franchise, offering die-hard fans a massive roster of characters, along with a unique version of Wano Arc was ongoing during the game's development. While nothing too amazing, the story is at least a fun departure from the status quo, making this entry a better overall pick than, for example, Pirate Warriors 3. Ultimately, this game and series is not for everyone, and the formula tends to be very divisive, either granting players a wide array of power fantasies with accessible hack and slash combat, or a repetitive slog with shallow gameplay. Still, Pirate Warriors 4 is a fantastic example of this formula that is packed with content, even going beyond the massive roster of characters that are waiting to be unlocked. For what it's trying to be, this is definitely a great title. Number 1. One Piece Odyssey. The most recent One Piece game, Odyssey is a turn-based JRPG that frames some of the manga's most prominent arcs through a new storyline. The Straw Hats wind up on a mystery island that strips them of most of their abilities, forcing the crew to revisit most of the challenging memories to regain their skills. While largely retreading familiar ground, Odyssey does change a few things about the sagas, so there should be a present of handful surprises for longtime fans. One Piece Odyssey is arguably the franchise's most ambitious game to date, and it comes closest to capturing the source's materials sense of adventure. The turn-based combat works fairly well since it emphasizes the crew's positioning on the battlefield, encouraging players to move them around to ensure that they are targeting the right enemies for them. That said, outside of the boss encounters, the campaign is a bit too easy for its own good, which winds up taking away from what is fundamentally a solid battle system. On paper though, One Piece Odyssey is the most accessible game in the franchise, but it's still ultimately difficult to recommend to JRPG fans who are not really interested in much of the anime or the manga. The story is not only long, but moves at a fairly slow pace, which can cause boredom to set in after a while. And there you have it. Those were some of the best One Piece games to have ever been released according to Metacritic. So what did you think of our list? Do you agree? Or perhaps you feel that some of these games should have been placed in a different order? If so, do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. And of course, not forgetting that if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10s, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. I'll also leave some more videos at the end of this one if you would like to check them out. Thanks very much for watching guys, and I will see you all next time.